History of developing millionaires. Focusing on building his business worldwide, Robert knows how to develop leaders, no stranger to the stage or to success. He is widely sought after for his trainings. Listen closely. Learn from Robert. He has a wealth of knowledge that he is willing to share with us today.
Hello, everybody. My name is Robert Hollis, and I am so honored and blessed to be able to speak with you guys today. Wow. And I hope this message finds you and yours blessed and safe during these really crazy and uncertain times. So my subject for today is mindset. And believe it or not, it's one of my very, very, very best subjects to talk about. And here's the crazy thing. Most people don't want to hear about it. So of every success book that you can imagine that I've gone through, and it's countless ones, you know, from Science to Getting Rich to Think and Grow Rich to the Master Key System, on and on and on and on. Every one of them talks about, you know, including The Greatest Secret by Earl Nightingale, is so a person thinketh in their heart, so are they. And it's amazing because a majority of people just always want to know, really, really want to know, hey, just give me the scripts, tell me what to say, tell me where to find the people, you know, and let me work on my skills. Let me work on my action. Let me work on my skills. And here's something I want you guys to think about, because if you read all the success books out there, and of course I haven't read them all, you know, one of the things that you're going to find immediately is that virtually everyone says, I even Googled it before I did this training, and it said right away that it says over 90% of success, happiness, and what we do is based off thinking and not skill set and action. Is that crazy? And let me give you just a quick one. You know, let's say that you had all the skill in the world, amazing skills. You practice for years and years and years and years. Whenever you watch a sporting event or you watch an actor, you know, mess up and they got to do one take after another, or you see a singer and they miss a note, or a person that's playing an instrument and they miss a note, you know what they call that? They call that choking. That person choked. How could they miss that interception? How could they strike out? You know, how could they miss that goal? And everyone goes, they choked. See, choking is just a word that most people, they think too much. That's me. And so sometimes when I think, then all of a sudden it's not in inspiration. It's not in belief. It's in worry. It's in lack. So if you all of a sudden got the skills, but you believe that you can't do it, you're going to fail. So what's the difference? The difference is if you had your mindset correct. There's a phrase that we use in this industry that I just love to this day. And it's basically called ignorance on fire. Ignorance is not a bad word. Ignorance means you don't know that you don't know. But when you first get involved, you get all excited because of the possibilities of what if this is true? What if I can really make this kind of income? What if I can make this big of an impact in other people's lives? What if I could earn enough to have freedom, real, true freedom? And so the first thing that a lot of you might say to yourself is you might see testimonials from other people that have succeeded. And my whole thought is if they can do it, why can't I? And so when I first seen testimonials of people succeeding, I went, my God, if they can do it, I can do it. I used to always ask silly questions, you know, like, hey, what'd you do before this? And they would go, oh, I installed car stereos, or I flipped tires, or I was a waitress. Whatever. And I would go, oh my God, I can do this. But I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about the products. I didn't know anything about the comp plan. I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't understand anything about leadership. I didn't understand anything about helping someone else get a result. So I was ignorance on fire. I didn't know that I didn't know. And all I got excited about is my mentor said to me very simply, Robert, listen, go out and edify and promote me, my story, and get them in front of me. And at that time, he had a videotape. And so the ignorance on fire in me allowed me to go out there, get excited, put people into the system, and guess what? Results. And I know that a lot of people, when they get involved in this, they don't have instantaneous results. And here's why. I believe that they immediately go into learning mode. I want to know everything about the products. I want to know everything about the compensation plan. I want to know everything about the industry. I want to know everything about everything. Here's a quick thing I want every one of you to think. When have you known everything about anything? And so what happens is we get in with that enthusiasm and thesos, God within, that little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And we go out with that enthusiasm and excitement, and people look at that energy and how happy and excited we are, and they immediately become curious. And they want to see what made us that excited. Now, what happens next? Now we do learn a little bit about the product. We learn a little bit about the comp plan. And then all of a sudden we go from the ignorance on fire mode to I'm the expert mode. And now when you're talking to people, it's not with excitement, enthusiasm. Now what it is you're coming from a place of being superior. I know something about this product, or I know something about this company, or I know something about this comp plan that you don't know. And what we do is we start leading with that education and that knowledge instead of excitement and enthusiasm. So mindset is one of the hugest things I can tell you. You know, even when I was a mechanic before getting involved in marketing, every day I had to work on my mindset. And the reason why is because of the stupid lies and story that I tell about myself. So the Robert Hollis that you see now is not the Bobby Hollis of 33 plus years ago. And so, you know, I don't need to go into it a lot. I just want to tell you that, you know, I grew up in foster homes, an orphanage. I actually, you know, my parents just felt like they wanted to go their own separate ways. And all of a sudden, you know, the powers to be came and took me and my brothers away from my mom and dad. And so prior to that, there was not only a lot of abuse in every way you can imagine, but you know, from the different homes that I went to. And I'm not saying this for you to feel sorry for me. It's just that I had a lot of lies in my head, stories in my head. First of all, why would anybody want me? Why do people keep abandoning me? Why doesn't anybody love me? What's wrong with me? And that affected my school, you know, so I didn't know that at the time I was dyslexic, but I just knew I was a special kid in a special class. And a lot of people teased me, made fun of me. And so I'm just like, you know, I can imagine for some of you that are out there that, you know, you carry this stuff with you and you don't change that mindset. So what was my old story? My old story is I'm a victim. I'm a victim. If you walked up to me and said, Robert, listen, and it sort of chokes me up a little bit. But if you would have reached out to me and said, you know, Robert, how are you? That would have been a worse mistake that you could make. Because I had an attitude. I had a chip on my shoulder. I believed that everyone was out to get me. Everything that bad was happening in my life is because the way that I was brought up, the people that took advantage of me, the people that abandoned me, the people that hurt me. And so, you know, so I really had a bad chip on my shoulder. And I hope some of you don't get mad at me as saying this, but at that time, you know, as far as a creator or someone that was supposedly supposed to take care of me, you know, God, I was mad at him too. And so I was like, well, how could a loving creator, a source, how could they allow this to happen to me? And so really struggled with that. So, coming from a victim mentality, and when people tell you, ask you how you are, and you immediately go into your old story, your old story, the one that doesn't serve you anymore, the one that keeps people away from you. You know what I mean? We don't realize this. Hey, how are you doing? Oh my God, same day, different crap. You know what I mean? Immediately they're going, oh my God, you're either energizing people or you're taking energy away from them. And so you guys all know people that, they come into a room and the lights dim. You shake their hand and it's like kryptonite to Superman. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, don't be that person. So I first came from my victim story. Oh, woe is me, which gives me absolutely no escape to be inspired or be more than who I was, to be a better father, a better husband, a better friend, a better leader, because of my victim story. And then, eventually what I did is I started putting some things together as an auto mechanic, and things were doing better. I had a girlfriend that's now my wife. We've been together over 37 years. Love you, Terry. And, which, by the way, she's the reason that I'm in this company because of her mindset. Totally different thing. But not really. Okay, so back to where I was. But the whole point is that I started getting things to work for me, but now I went from victim to more of a survivor. You know what I mean? So, I could get by. I was making it paycheck to paycheck. Something little happened in my life and it would really ruin my month, 2 months. Are you one of those people or know somebody that something bad happens in their life and they just like got a white knuckle it, just got to hang on forever? I was that guy. I was that person. And so now I'm surviving. And it really, again, because of my mindset and thinking. I was doing above average because I worked on that skill, because one person said to me, Robert, you're good with your hands. You got to encourage people. Robert, you're good with your hands. You're great at fixing bikes and motorcycles and snowmobiles. You know what? Maybe you should be a mechanic. And it was because the first time in my entire life, someone told me I was great at something that I excelled at that. But still had the survival mindset, still have the competitive mindset, still have the comparison mindset. It's like right away, why is someone being treated better than me? You know what I mean? I got to beat everybody instead of just working on me getting better each and every day. Yeah, a lot of things that has to do with mindset. To all of a sudden the story of today, where all of a sudden I'm a victor, I'm a winner. I love teaching people how to go from victory to victory to victory to victory. So I got a couple of quick things I want to share with you because of this training. And first of all, understand that the key to mindset is the book that I got that just really changed my life is my mentor, when all of a sudden someone else told me I could be great at something, which is marketing. He said I could learn to do this. He immediately gave me a book, and I know why. He wanted to prove to me that, or to anyone, that I was worthy of listening to. And so if a mentor gives you an assignment, like Jenna or Josh gives you an assignment, and you just don't do it, you know what I mean? And so my mentor said, Robert, get that book, The Greatest Miracle in the World. I want you to read it and get back to me. That's when I learned to tell a different story. That's when I learned that I'm a miracle. That's when I learned I'm unique and there's nobody like me. And I was born to win. I was born to be a victor. I then changed the story of what I said. So now as a person thinking in their heart, so are they. I became a winner. I said I'm going to be a speaker. I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to be, make a big impact. I'm going to help a bunch of people with their freedom. And so now all of a sudden, that's the key. So that belief then inspired me, gave me confidence to do more action. And the more action I got, the better I got at it, which gave me more results. And now that I had results, it picked up my self-esteem and my belief in myself that then allowed me to do more actions that gave me more results. And now I had this vortex going in a positive direction instead of the vortex going in the negative direction. So I used to say stuff like, the only people at the top, make money, and this is not for anyone. I'm not a salesperson. I don't have any time. Man, the things that I would say out of my mouth that was destroying me was awful. And so what I want to share with you is, first of all, just a thought of one thought. Here it goes. So when you say you want to help people, I talk to people all the time. Tell me what you want. I can help anyone get what they want in life if I could find people that know what they want. And so people say, I want to help people. Well, if you just want to help people, then you're attracting people that need help. A lot of help. So, I remember reaching out to Josh Zwagel, and I said to him, what's one of your favorite books? What's a book that really made an impact with you? And it was one that actually is in my top 5. And it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And one of the things that I realized is that when I read that book, that I was being self-employed in network marketing, like a retail small store owner. I needed to know about the product. I needed to know everything about my competition. I was constantly pushing and selling the product. And, people would come, people would go. And it was hard for me to find motivated people that wanted to change their lives. And so when I read that book, I felt like I was self-employed. Then I looked at business owner and I thought, wow, thoughts are things. How could I be a business owner? I got to learn to be a business owner. And as soon as I did that, I brought up a question to a recent training that I did, and I hope every one of you is watching this. I hope you'll play along. But I very simply reached out to a couple, so I want you to imagine me asking you this question. I want you to imagine you owning a McDonald's restaurant, a McDonald's franchise. And let's say that franchise is earning $250,000 a year after taxes. I mean, that's some incredible money, wouldn't you agree? And so if all of a sudden that was going and everything was going great, and then all of a sudden you and your spouse, your significant others decided that you wanted to make more money, to give to more charity and do more of an impact, what would you do to double your money? Yes, I'm silent on purpose. What would you do to double your money? Start another McDonald's. You're already successful at that. Why wouldn't you continue to do that? So I have a lot of people that reach out to me all the time and go, Robert, do you believe in multiple streams of income? Yes, I do. And once I was able to help an individual in MDC, bingo, all of a sudden get a full-time income, that now is a stream of income for me. Does that make sense to you guys? What should I do next? I need to find another one and get an income stream from that one. So now when we get check matches, Terry and I now check match over 477 people. So people reach out to me and say, do you believe in multiple streams of income? And I go, yeah, I got, 477 people that I'm helping get a check on a monthly basis that I check match. But I also have 16,000 let me get this right. My mind, over 20,000. Sorry. So 20,000 people that we actually are customers, or people that are just getting product at membership prices. They're not really building the business or getting a check. So now that ends up being over 20,000 different streams of income. Is this helping you think a little bit? Because right now, the last thing I want to do is I don't want to learn something else to do. I want to get good and better at this. So the last thing I want to share with you guys before I close, and I just thank you very much, is I want to thank Josh and Jenna for just allowing me and the whole corporate team for putting this together and allowing me to be able to speak with you here today in the short time that we have. And I just know for a fact that when you get your mind straight, everything works. And so in a closing story I want to share with you is when I first got involved in the company, Jenna shared this book with me by Esther and Jerry Hicks. And I got it right away, but I didn't act on it. So once I listened to the audio that was in the back of the book of the last chapter, I started listening to more and more, and I started changing more stories of what I had. And one of the biggest ones is a concept that unrealistic expectations. You know what I mean? I traded all of them for appreciation and being grateful. And then every day now I start saying to myself, how can I make this better? Just how can I make this better? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Never ever forget, if I did it, you can do it. If you follow the treasure map that Jenna and Josh and the rest of the leaders that will be sharing with you here today, if you follow that treasure map, there's an X there. And that X is the number that you have for yourself, the money and the freedom that you can have, and the impact that you can have on others. So again, thank you very much for listening. I know if no one's giving you permission to succeed in life, let me be the first. I know that you can do this, and you need to start listening and only following people that know how to help other people be successful. In my incredible opinion, MDC, without a shadow of a doubt, at 33 years in this industry, is without a doubt the best business opportunity available in the world today. And you might go, Robert, how do you know? Because everybody wants me in their companies. So they're constantly trying to get me in there, and I'm going nowhere. I've been able to have a happiness, a fulfillment, an impact, and success that's been my best in 33 years. And I'll leave you one more thing. You know, a person asked me the other day, Robert, what makes you different than other people that are in marketing? And I said, the difference is my best month was last month. I know that you can do this. It's simple, but it's simpler not to, but work